right, welcome back everyone into this week's segment of Crime Stoppers. Captain John Duke is joining me in studio from Lowndes County. Thank you, Captain, for coming in.
You're welcome.
Okay, so if you've been watching the news lately, you know, it might not be the best time to be a musical artist of sorts, we'll say. Recently, Lowndes County made an arrest, and it kind of led back to a rap song. So, Captain, can you kind of talk to me about this case?
We'd received some tips about the area and this particular person, and some of it actually came through the P3 line.
Okay.
And during the research, one of the agents stumbled across a song where the person was rapping about selling the drugs on Maple Street.
Okay.
And so it matched up with the tips, and everything kind of gelled together, and we ended up making the arrest off of it.
So as this trial continues, could this song then be held as evidence? Okay, so it can. Okay, so that's very interesting to me. And then you guys weren't the only ones. Columbus also had something of very similar sorts that happened as well.
I believe so, yes.
So I guess whenever it came, I know we can't say too much, but to this case, in our tips that we got, did it specifically mention a song, or we had just, hey, we believe something's happening here, and then we kind of followed up on it?
We kind of followed up on it. Something's happening here, and then when you listen to the song, and the song is telling you exactly what the public is telling us. So once you corroborate that, it becomes corroborative. It becomes evidence.
Okay. Okay, so I guess my next question is, where was this song? I know that we do have a lot of local artists and who upload, you know, maybe to their social medias and maybe Spotify, but sometimes maybe just YouTube, I guess.
I don't want to speak out of turn, but I think it was one of the social media platforms.
Okay.
And also on YouTube. So.
So, you know, we're not telling you to do anything bad, but maybe be careful of your lyrics for certain things.
Well, I mean, music is a window into that world because it speaks on, you know, that lifestyle. If you look at the videos that some of these guys make, it's got cash, drugs, guns. It's just a lifestyle. So it can be informative as far as, you know, what we see and what we hear and the tips that come in, and it all kind of gels together at times.
And I find this case especially interesting because, you know, it's really, like you said, using the P3 Tips app, like stringing along what's happening in the community.
Exactly.
And I just feel like you guys have your eyes and ears open all the time.
We do, and the P3 app is a way for people to, you know, give tips anonymously. They don't want to have their name mentioned on any kind of paperwork, and we understand that. But I think a lot of people think that they send the tip in through the app, and it never gets looked at, never gets followed up on. It does. I promise you. But there's so many that comes in, it takes time to go through all of them and properly corroborate or vet each tip, so it takes time, so just be patient with it. Now,
if you guys get a tip, you guys go through it, and we're like, hey, I think this is something here, are we then allowed to reach back out to that anonymous sender, or no, it's just that one tip?
We as agents do not. There's two guys at the Lowndes County Sheriff's Office that monitor that app, and they can reach out to them. But it's anonymous. Nobody knows who you are. So.
You guys, at the end of the day, also want to keep that person
anonymous.
Safe.
That's
you know.
Right. That's right.
All right. Well, Captain John, thanks so much for joining me in studio. We'll be right back after the break.